All right, guys, back for the second half of today's podcast. It is Monday, May 22nd, 2023. We just finished the UFC Vegas 73 recap with our special guest, Alex B. Hunan of MMA Mania. If you definitely missed it, definitely want to go back and check it out. It was a great podcast. Really good to get insight from someone that was at the event, and it was a lot of fun. But in this podcast, we're just going to do a short one, guys, probably half an hour. We'll go through all the latest news and fight announcements. A couple comments in the chat. This guy's saying Yuri and Hill. Is this a fact, Marcel? Are you hearing anything about this?
No.
Okay. Where'd you hear that, my friend? Or is that kind of your guess? I guess if that makes sense. It would be a great fight. Hopefully it happens, but haven't heard a date on that yet. Let me know if you have a link or something. Any news about the big fights getting added to London? No buzz around the week sales at all. Card is weak. Marcel.
I didn't think there will be any more big fights added. To be honest, I think you have to do it with the main event: Paul Craig against Andre Muniz, Bob Virna against Muradov, Wood against Fili, Murphy against Kulibao. I think those are the fights are probably on the main card. Also, I'm probably Molly McCann as well because they like her. But,
yeah, I'm surprised they haven't added her. Like, it wasn't part of the first announcement because obviously.
Yeah, she was the very first announcement
for this card.
For London, yeah.
Wait, who's she fighting again?
Stoliarenko.
Oh, that's right. That fight is so fucking weird. The girl's dropped. She was the one who fainted on the scale at 145. Yeah. Sorry, that fight doesn't make any sense. It's so weird, right? Like,
I wonder if that fight actually going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. I just assume it's not going to happen. Anyways, Blowovich just mentioned on, I guess, Ariel's show that the matchmakers guaranteed him a title shot if he beats Pereira. I mean, it makes sense. I actually thought they were going to give him the title shot against Hill because, let's be honest, they don't like Ankalaev. Where the fuck is Ankalaev, though? Like, is he going to fight again? Like, what's going on?
But that probably also means that if Pereira wins, they're also going to give him the title shot.
I would imagine that. Yeah, that would make sense, right? And to be honest, Hill's not like he's a decent matchup for Hill, right? Like it's winnable. Hill should try to grapple that fight if they do it. Pata, what's up, man? Glad to have you, my friend. Warrior Carter Phillips. He's fighting. Who's he fighting again?
Saeed
Nurmagomedov. Yeah. All right. If UFC came back to Holland, would you go? I mean, yeah. How if they went to Germany or Belgium? Would you go?
Most probably, yeah.
How far is France from you, by the way? Is it far? France?
It's like from Amsterdam. It's like I think it's a 3-hour or 4-hour drive. You know, so
that's not bad at all.
It's like a 5 or 6-hour drive. I think.
That's not that bad. All right, let's go to some fight announcements, guys. Let's get into this. So
let's go.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Let's pull up. Marcel has his thing behind him. I think I'll just go to your Instagram. If that's okay with you?
Yeah, I have my thing between my legs, but also behind me. Yeah.
This freaking guy, and every time. All right, let's pull this up. All right, guys, let's go through some fight announcements. It's great fun. All right, Marcel, you guys can see? Yep. Yeah. All right, this came out today. Terrence McKinney is fighting Nazim Sadikov. I already see a lot of people saying Sadikov's going to knock him out. They assume Terrence is going to gas again and KO. What do you think?
Any thoughts? Know, man. I mean, Terrence will definitely have worked on that, I think. And this is... man, I feel... Listen, man, Sadikov good fighter, but let's be honest, man. If Elder didn't have that cut, he would probably lose that fight. You know,
he was losing against Elder, right? Yeah. I think he was in the scorecards. Yeah.
So I'm not too sure about that. It's fun that he's a law MMA guy and he trains with Frivola, who got knocked out by Terrence McKinney, by the way. So yeah, I think it's a fun fight. I like it. We'll see what's going to happen. We talked about this fight actually before, right?
Yeah,
normally we never do.
I think that most people thought it was. That George Hardwick guy. Do you know what happened with that, by the way?
No, that fight was never offered. Was never on, as far as I know.
Like a joke?
Yeah, McKinney was just playing with people on Twitter.
Oh, okay, because I think a lot of people thought that was the fight, including our friend Cole. But yeah, that's okay. All right. 1 second. Let's just go to the next fight here. I think we just talked about this one, right? So Saeed and Kyler Phillips.
Fun fight.
Yeah, I got to about this one.
Saeed fights everybody super tough, which is not ranked, you know.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, Saeed's good, right? Like, he's the one that's not related to Khabib, right? He's not related.
Yeah, true. And how good looks that Song Yadong win on Kyler Phillips' record, man?
I mean, it looks pretty good, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I picked him in that fight. It was 2 years ago. It was on the Blachowicz and Izzy card. Yeah, I thought he would win the fight because he's well-rounded. But I remember that third round of the fight, he got wrestled. So clearly that's something of a weakness, I guess. I don't know. I think he matches up decently well, though. I like Kyler Phillips, the Matrix, man. I always like this guy. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. It should be a good one. Go to some other ones here, guys. We got Rinat Nakamura against Virna Garcia. It sure seems like this is a setup fight, right?
I mean, I don't think Fernie's that bad. He's not bad, but I mean, Rinja looks so good, right, in his debut in the UFC against that Kazama guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably be a favorite here, and
oh yeah, he'll be favored. He'll be like 3-1 favorite. I think.
This, by the way, not going to be in Vegas, what I'm hearing, but we'll see.
The card, it's a different card. Oh, this 26. You mean?
Yeah.
You heard any? Is that a pay per view? No, that's not the pay per view.
No, it's a fight night.
19th is pay per view. You have any?
Yeah, I can't say, but it's not in Vegas. It's in front of a crowd. So.
Fair enough. All right. In the States, can you say that or at least or no?
Probably not, but.
Oh, can you say it's in Canada?
No, I can't.
Damn it. All right, fair enough. All right. Let's go to the next fight. Jim Miller, Jared Gordon. Yeah, this got announced on short notice. Who pulled out again? It was Ludovic Klein. So yeah. Klein was a big favorite to beat Jim Miller. This fight's more of like a pick'em type fight, I think. I don't know, man. Like, I think Gordon should be favored here probably, but like the fact he got knocked out so recently is kind of scary, right? Yeah, any thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like, how do you say that? It's a really quick turnaround for Jared Gordon. I think he was talking on Twitter about it as well. It's like, yeah, the opportunity came. And I mean, Jim Miller, who's going to turn down Jim Miller? So I understand it, And he didn't get his win bonus from that fight against Bobby Green. Bobby Green also didn't get it, obviously. So, yeah, I understand why he takes the fight. And I think it's a winnable fight for him, to be honest. I mean, Jim Miller is great. I really respect him. Jim Miller is getting older, and I think Jared Gordon actually looked better as long as I see him fight. So
he's looking good in that first couple minutes of that Green fight. He's starting to look good. I don't. Let me check if the odds came out today because I know they weren't up yesterday when I looked. No, they're not out yet. I think Gordon might be favored slightly here.
I think so too.
Despite the knockout loss, I think he might be slightly favored.
I would put him a minus 170, I think. Or something.
Yeah, I think he might be favored a little bit because Jim, like you said, is getting up there and he's turning 40 in a couple months. Oh. Augustus. I love it. Oh, is that how you say it in
Dutch? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Gordon's born a week before me. Okay, here we go. We got that bunny girl, Conejo, against your girl Emma Marine, who looked just terrible in her debut. Like, I don't know what to think about her, man. She's got like no cardio, bro. I don't know what to think. Yeah, any thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, man. I mean, first round was pretty decent, but she couldn't finish, and after that she didn't have any cardio. And Montserrat Conejo Ruiz, she had that she had pretty much like what's her name again? Cheyenne Vlismus in that headlock. Yeah, the crazy.
I'll follow you home, bitch, or something. Is that what you said to her?
Yeah, super weird. I'm looking forward to it. How it's gonna be, but I mean, if Amarim has bad cardio again, I'm my favorite Montserrat here.
Well, she hasn't fought in 2 years now, right? Like I think it's.
She got knocked out by Amanda Lemos and she disappeared.
Oh, it's 2 years ago. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to think, but like, again, all these Mexican fighters are kicking ass. Did she train with all of them, like Grasso and them, or she had a different gym?
Yeah, I think she's a different gym. I also, by the way, like that people call her Monster Rat instead of Montserrat.
That name is very unique. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one here. Pat 17, Luke Almeida. What happened in the Duado fight?
So Duado apparently pulled out with an injury. I didn't know that, but I got told that Almeida was fighting Sabatini. So I was one. So that's why when I put it out, I was like, listen, I know Pat is fighting Almeida, and they both have agreed to the fight and sign. But I have no idea what happened to Dawodu. And people were like, is Dawodu fighting Gavin Tucker? Then I was like, no, the Tucker-Sabatini fight was never officially on. It was on the board by Dana, but it was never on. So I don't know. And then I heard that it wasn't Tucker Dawodu. And I was waiting for what Dawodu. And then the news came out that Dawodu was out. So, yeah, they put those two together, which is good,
Absolutely. I mean, this is a pretty good fight, too. So the Gavin Tucker fight, that was never official?
No, man. It's never agreed on by both sides. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, fair enough. That should be a good fight, by the way. All right, this is an interesting one, too. Albert Durev and Jungyoung Park. This is a very middleweight fight. I'll say that. Any thoughts?
The thing is with Duraev, man, I still think he's talented, but I feel like he came a little bit too late in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he won against Shidi, right? But he didn't look good against Buckley. You know, that's also his only loss in the UFC, and he actually also didn't really look good against Kopilov. He really looked good in the Contender Series, I remember.
Yep.
John Jong Park, he's pretty decent, you know, but I still need to see him fight against better competition. For example, the Eric Anders fight, I don't think he won that fight, but he looked good against Dennis Chuyulin.
Oh, I remember that fight. That was last year. I remember I had a bet on Anders. I was convinced he won the fight. I think all the media had it for him, if I'm not mistaken. That was a tough one. I think Park probably should be favored here, though. I would favor him a little bit.
I think so, too.
Yeah. All right. Estela Nunez and Victoria Dudakova. She's the really young one, right? Yeah. This is her debut, I believe, in the UFC. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here, right?
Yeah,
Marcel?
of course. I mean, it still has 0-3. Although I got to give her credit for the first round against
Sam Hughes.
No, the Mexican girl, Jorge.
Oh yes,
she looked good in the first round, but after that,
Jorge striker, but no cardio and bad ground game, right? So like, that's just not a good. This girl's going to take her down and beat her up. I mean, this is kind of an easy fight to predict. I think. I mean, we'll see what happens in July. I mean, I don't like giving my picks right now because I like time to think about it, but like this one seems kind of obvious.
Pretty
right?
obvious, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tatiana is so good, man. She should be. I know Virna is an interesting fight because she's a grappler too, but like I just think Tatiana is just a beast. She's going to be a big favorite here, right?
I think Virna if she can work out of guard. She has a really good guard, I think, but. Man, so you cannot pick against Tatiana pretty much.
Not at all. So, I don't think I've ever picked against her. I mean, she's won all her fights either, right? Yeah. So, like, we've been perfect on her fights. Jamal Emmers, Jack Jenkins. Pretty fun fight. I mean, I think it's actually in front of a crowd. Okay, cool. Emmers looked really good in his last fight, but Jenkins obviously looked phenomenal. I would favor Jenkins, too, in this fight.
Yeah, but Jamal Emmers is super underrated, man. He's 2-2, but his 2 losses against Sabatini, who he had knocked down and then went to the ground and got in the heel hook, and against Giga Chikatsu, who he arguably won.
It was a split decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could have been 4-0 in the UFC, you know what I mean? So he's not a bad fighter at all. He also got a win over Corey Santig very early in his career, I think, which looked good on his record now.
Sorry.
Oh, you want to go? No, Jenkins is pretty good. You know, we saw it against Shanis. Was Don Shanis, right? Who we fought.
Yes, that guy was pretty tough too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's
Jenkins, like the leg breaker.
Yeah, Jenkins is talented. Evan Elder, Jandiroba Valdez. This fight's a fucking banger. I think Elder should be favored though. Like you said,
really like Elder.
Dude, he was winning that Sadikov fight for sure. And what was the first fight he had? Was it Preston Parsons?
Yeah. Weight class up
at 170. This Valdez guy looked so bad against Favola. He looked so bad against. What was the other fight he had?
Leffy.
Yeah, he looked terrible in that fight. And even on the Contender when he won the fight, it was a crazy fight against that Patrick White guy. Fight was insane, but like he got dropped by this guy from Alaska FC. That's never a good thing. So, but that was a good fucking fight. Yeah,
his name is Elder, but he's actually younger. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Couple of, I know that's funny. That's a good one. I like that. I included Tanner Boser taking Alexa Kimura. I don't know about this one. It's a weird fight, right?
I mean, Alexa Kimura, I've never been like pretty high on him, to be really honest. I never knew where to put him. You know, he looks to me like, he pretty much looks to me like a 205. We could fight at 185, in my opinion, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Tanner Boser had a really bad debut, dude, at light heavyweight against Kuchelaba.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see what happens, you know.
His chin looked terrible. I don't even think it's a hard weight cut, so I was surprised how quick he got finished in that fight. I like this fight a lot. I think this is the fight we talked about, right? After
you did.
Yeah, there we go. Because I'm like, you gotta get him in the rankings. Listen, I know Dustin. Actually, this is an interesting matchup because Dustin's obviously very good kickboxer. We all know that, but also, I don't know about you, Marcel. I kind of feel like he's on a bit of a decline a little bit now. I don't know what you think. Like, I did think he got robbed against Roundtree, but the last fight was so bad, man, for Jacoby and Kennedy.
How would Kennedy do against Murzakanov? I don't know.
I think that'd be a good fight too, to be honest with you. You know, but yeah, I mean, the fact that he got dropped, Kennedy's looking good. Here's the thing: Kennedy just constantly moves forward. Great gas tank, great chin, big heart. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd favor Kennedy a little bit, but I'm interested to see the odds in this one. You have any thoughts?
I'm still not sold on Kennedy. I don't think I think he is pretty good, but I'm still not sold. But
Fair enough.
I think it's I think we'll be close fight, man. I don't think
Yep.
it will be a blowout or anything. I think we'll be close.
It probably goes the distance. I
Yeah.
think these guys. This national card is, I think it's confirmed now, right?
It's pretty much done because, for example, I know on contracts of the fighters said Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah,
so,
it's that's what I heard too. So I think it's definitely the one. And it's Umar and Sagan's the rumor. Is that correct?
Umar against Sandhagen is the rumor to headline, yeah, but I'm not sure about that fight, so don't pin me on it.
Fair enough, but that's such a good fight if it happens. Jalgas taking on Felipe Bunes, the LFA champion. I need to watch his fights a little bit. His record isn't that good, which is surprising, right? But
he had a few wins in Russia or a few losses in Russia that were really controversial. So
it's hard to pick Jalgas with the 1-5 record, isn't it?
Yeah, but you got to look at it deeper, I think, because Jalgas, the Johnson fight, I think he won. I think he won the Molina fight. I think he won the Paiva fight. So he could have been like 4-2. You know what I mean? He only clearly lost the Manal Cup and what's that other one? I don't know anymore, but he lost that one too.
Raleigh and Paiva, I think.
I think he actually should have won that fight against Paiva. I think.
Yeah. He's had I know he's 1-5, but like some of these losses are very, very close. Like razors.
I mean, but shame on the UFC for not giving Zhalga Sumagulov a photo shoot last time he was there.
That hair was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, a couple other fights here, guys. Kevin. Oh yeah. I mean, they bring him back to the UFC just for him to face Rinat. I think Rinat destroys him. I got to be honest, man. I think Rinat beats. And I know it's an interesting matchup because Kevin's obviously a great wrestler and Rinat's kind of like a wrestler, but even on the feet, I don't know, man. I know he doesn't have a lot of experience, man, but the record doesn't lie, and the guys look phenomenal. I would favor him. Would you?
Yeah, I actually got told by somebody, I don't know who anymore, that Kevin Lee turned down Rinat like a month ago. But here we are. We have the fight. So, yeah, I mean, kind of a weird booking, if you get Kevin Lee back and you match him out with Rinat. That pretty much means like you want to build off the name of Kevin Lee. That's what I feel.
Oh, is he managing both guys?
No, Rinat is from Danny. Ruby,
oh, he's Ruby's.
Ruby?
Okay. And I know he's obviously Kevin Lee's guy now. I don't think it's a great fight for Kevin, but I could be wrong. I mean, maybe he's got good enough wrestling where he could neutralize this guy, and then
he's at Killcliff, right? He's at Killcliff now, right?
I like that move for him. I do like the move, too. But again, I just don't like this matchup, dude. This guy's. It's look how close they are in age too. It's like a year apart. It's not like this guy's super old or anything. Yeah. Jimmy Crute and Alonzo Menifield, the rematch. I thought the first fight was amazing. Was it fight of the night? I think it was, right? If it wasn't, it should have been. Let me double check that. But yeah, it's a great fight. So this is added to 290. My guess is because the Coppa and Figueiredo fight fell off, they need another fight. Is that fair to say?
Possible. I think this one was in the works for a long time, actually. So.
By the way, it didn't win fight of the night, but I mean, we all watched that fight. It was a phenomenal fight. There's no doubt. It's a good fight.
How does Jimmy Crute manage to look younger in his most recent pick?
I don't know. By the way, who would you favor? Because obviously, I think we both favored Crute in the first one, but I know he came back late. But man, it was a tough fight. Any thoughts?
Yeah, very difficult, man. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know it's a weird one. The Skinny Betts guy's the one who broke it. Maybe he's friends with one of the fighters. I don't know. Kind of weird that he broke the fight, but he got it. Greco and Stewie's house, is that really the name of the gym?
Yeah, because Sam Greco, the former kickboxer.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it kind of sounds like a steakhouse or something.
I thought it was Stewie from Family Guy. That's what I thought.
It sounds like a steakhouse. Right?
A couple other fights here. Vince Pichel, Benoit Saint-Denis. I mean, you talk about two tough fucking guys. You got two tough dudes right here. That fight with the Santos Marcel, like the beating he took in that fight, and that fucking ref, that Vladislav, whatever his name was, he used to be a fighter, I think.
Yeah.
Like you thought someone was going to die in that fight. That's the kind of fight where it's like, whoa, it's a little concerning, Like it's concerning, man. Those kind of fights, like it's almost like Dana White should open the cage and be like, hey, the fight's over. But I think the ref got fired, I believe, right? The ref, or you got
on the spot. Yeah.
I like that though, man. Like if you're doing a horrible job, you shouldn't be doing this. It's not fucking checkers, man. It's MMA, dude. I would favor Benoit. Honestly, I would. I think
this this picture doesn't look like a fight announcement, more like family portrait, two brothers,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I favor Benoit probably here as well, yeah.
Vince has been in the UFC for like 12 years and has 10 fights. He barely fights.
He kind of looks like the older brother of Cap Swanson.
He does. He really does. I like Vince. It's good. I think the fight goes the distance. That's what I'll say with this one. These guys are both tough. We already talked about this, Zhang and Lemos. Zhang, are the odds out? Let me take a look if the odds are out for this card. Dang. No, they're not out yet. Okay, they got to get those out. She's going to be favored. No doubt.
Of course.
Yeah, she'll be favored. So probably, it's the co-main event, the Aljo card. She'll probably win the fight. And then obviously here's the main event. Are the odds up for this one? I think Sterling's favored, right?
He should be, I think.
Yeah, he's favored. He's minus 225. Yeah. So, yeah, he's likely. I mean, I don't know if he'll win for sure, but he's probably going to end up being the favorite even at fight time. But I think O'Malley's a really interesting fight for him, man. I really do.
Yes, Sterling has a clear path to win, but if he doesn't do it, I mean, O'Malley definitely has a chance to win the fight.
On the feet, there's no doubt. I mean, he's a really good striker. There's no doubt about it. Like the ground game, it's world's difference. I would favor Aljo. I mean, how could you not? I mean, the guy beat Cejudo, Dillashaw, Yan. I mean, the guys look great, but O'Malley's an interesting fight. I mean, it's a good fight. Stephen Thompson, Pereira. This guy got moved, right? I believe this fight.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in Canada, right?
Yeah. Even though it'd be better for the division if Pereira wins, I think you have to favor Thompson. If it's going to be a striking battle, he's one of the best strikers still, right?
Yeah, true, but he's also getting older. I think he's 40 now.
Man, he looks so good against Holland, though, dude. He looks so good.
They've still won the boy, 40 years of age. But, yeah, he's a good fighter, man. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean,
that Wonder Man nickname. It's going to be Wonder Man soon.
Wonder Man, yeah.
And then what's the other guy with, the young Punisher? He's going to be the old Punisher. Pedro Munoz?
Yeah, or Melvin Gillard, the young assassin.
The old assassin. A couple other fights here. Derek Lewis and DeLima. By the way, so this fight, last week we had the live announcement on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt like we didn't talk about this one at all because the other fights were bigger, right? But I got to be honest, first of all, I have a strong lean in this fight. I do have a strong lean. Do you have a lean at all?
Yeah, you're also going with Marcos Rogerio de Lima, right?
100%.
Yeah.
How do you not pick him here? I mean, he's looked phenomenal. He's got nasty kicks. He's probably the better grappler too. I mean, Derek's got the chance to knock him out, but other than landing the big shot, which DeLima is actually pretty good chin. I mean, he's not the guy who gets knocked out often. I think it's kind of a good matchup for DeLima, man. It's kind of like gonna. I don't know if it's going to send Derek out of the UFC, but he's on a clear decline, right? So
yeah, and now you will probably see, because we both think that Rogerio is going to win, that Derek knocks him out in the first round.
He could, but I just think like he's the more complete fighter, DeLima, by far. The only thing that I find interesting is it's in Salt Lake City, so they're trying to test his cardio. I think they want to do that. Yeah, if this fight, Marcel, if there's no finish and it goes the distance,
oh man,
it's gonna be like me and you in there, bro. If we were fighting each other. Two big guys rolling around. It's going to be I could see it being like that Romanov and Tybura fight last year where just they get so tired. Like I could see that happening. I don't think they should put this fight in this card. I would stay away from the heavyweight fights in the fucking wouldn't you? Like again, they want to test his cardio. I'm pretty sure that's going on, but yeah, Liam I think should be favored. I really do. I just think he's looked outstanding. So Chiesa and Holland, great fight. I mean, listen, like obviously Holland got controlled by Vittori and Brunson, but this at 170, it's 15-pound difference. That's a big difference, guys. And obviously the problem with Holland is his fight IQ is pretty bad, right? But he's so fucking dangerous on the feet, on the ground with the submissions. Chiesa is going to try to wrestle him, obviously. I don't know. I really don't know about this one. I have no clue. What do you think?
I mean, if Chiesa can get him to the ground, Holland is fucked, I think. But if Holland can keep it standing, which is a possibility, then Holland probably gets the win. Yeah, it's pretty much like that.
You think if Chiesa loses, he retires?
It's very possible, I think. Although he's how old is he? He's
a year older than me. He's 35. He's 35 right now. Yeah, he'll be 36 at the end of the year. I just think because he's got the job at the UFC. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
he got the desk job, of course. Yeah.
Like him and guys like Anthony Smith, they're all on the way out, kind of. I think now. Ferguson and Bobby Green. It's kind of weird they booked this fight when Ferguson just got arrested for a DUI. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe it was booked already.
Yeah, that's true. How could you pick Tony Ferguson? How could you?
Yeah.
Was he lost 5 straight or is it 6 straight? Coney?
I don't know. Actually, I think 5. Let's see. He's 15-6, so 5 straight because he got that one loss to Michael Johnson early.
That's right. Yeah, he's lost 5 in a row. Okay, now to be fair, Gaethje, Oliveira, Dariush, Chandler, Diaz.
Yeah, it's all
but
good.
the Diaz one was bad, bro. He just got his ass kicked, and it looked bad.
But it was short notice, right?
It was for all those guys. That was fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I think Green should be slightly favored. That's all I'll say about this one. But yeah, wow. A couple other fights here. Costa. I mean, we've talked about this. Listen, like, Ikram might win this fight. I'm not saying he won't win. He could win, but I just don't feel like he deserves a top 5 ranked guy. He hasn't done anything in the UFC. You know. To be fair, though, I also feel like the UFC is a little disappointed with Costa. The guy barely fights. He's been in the UFC for like I think like 7 or 8 years now. He fights once a year at max. He's a good fighter, but he barely fights. And honestly, he didn't look amazing against Luke Rockhold either. The fact he couldn't knock Rockhold out was not good.
Costa has 0 wins against current UFC fighters.
I know. Dude, Dan Alvey has a win over someone in the UFC, and Costa doesn't. Isn't that wild? It's crazy.
I feel like he got bumped up a lot after winning against Joel Romero, which was a close fight. It could have been Romero's as well, you know. Yep. And he keeps standing there in the, like, how do you say that? The top ranking. Well, listen, man, I would have kicked him out after that shit he pulled with Marvin Vittori at that time. I would have kicked him out immediately out of the rankings, you know.
That fight was fucking great fight, though. That was
it was, but he cheated that week, man, going to 205 while Marvin was supposed to be at 185, you know.
And he ended up losing, costing his record there with another loss. But yeah, he's good.
Let's put it this way. Costa's more entertaining these days on the internet than he is in the cage, you know.
Completely agreed. He's a keyboard warrior now. It's Chimaev fighting Usman. Dana said no, right? That's what Dana said. He said they don't do catchweight fights. He said apparently Usman went to his office and asked for the fight at, was it 180? Is that do you know what weight it was?
I don't know exactly. No,
178 maybe. It was a catchweight fight. That's what he asked for. Dana's like, we don't do catchweights, even though they just did one with Cody and Godinez, although it was short notice. I get it, but I'm just saying, like, they have done catchweights before, Marcel. It's not like they haven't. But at the same time, they're trying to, you know, build a contender here with Hamzat. So honestly, I would like to see that fight, but maybe just do it at 185 even. Like, I don't hate that. Would you be okay with that, or?
Yeah, 185 would be good.
Yeah, I think it's okay too. Obviously, this is a great fight. Pereira and Blachowicz, 2 strikers. I think Jan will probably try to grapple him. Marcel, that's my guess.
This is going to be like either Pereira knocks him out, or it's going to be like the same fight as against Adesanya.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But man, Pereira, what a fun fight though, eh? Like it's interesting. It's a style. Yeah. The style matchup's really fun. I mean, you talk about fun fights. You talked about this one last week, but yeah, I mean, this could be fight of the year right here. The thing is, I don't think they needed to bring back the BMF title. I don't think it's kind of gimmicky, but
your reaction said something else.
No, for sure, but I just like the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
I love the fight. I just love the matchup. But honestly, I was gonna say if there's any 2 guys that should be fighting for the BMF, it is these 2 guys. So, yeah, it just sucks that like Masvidal never like actually defended that belt. I guess you could say, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. I picked Gaethje the first time and he got destroyed. So. I don't know about this one. You have any lean at all? You have a lean?
Yeah, probably going with Poirier here, man. To be really honest,
it's hard not to, right? It's just he's really fucking good. I mean, the guy is great. You open. Okay, the odds are out for this one. Okay, Poirier. Okay, they are out. Yeah, so Poirier's minus 120 now. So it's pretty close, but Gaethje actually opened minus 125. Yeah, the odds makers probably got that one wrong. The opening odds. It's like a near pick 'em, but the lean is towards Poirier, I would say, as well. I don't know if we talked about this one last week, but I really like this fight. Andre Muniz and Paul Craig. Paul Craig's oh my god, I'm sorry guys. Paul Craig is dropping down to 185. I think it's a better weight class for him. He's not fighting a knockout artist. So
did you see what they did with the announcement?
What?
They put Paul Craig against Andre Muniz, not Andre Muniz, Paul Craig, and they took away the ranking from Muniz. So it was like unranked against unranked. But Muniz is number 15, but they didn't want him to be on the red corner. So they put him on the blue corner and Paul Craig on the red corner.
Huh. Interesting. You have a lean in this fight?
Difficult, man.
It's
I mean,
tough.
Paul Craig wants to go to the ground, and Andre Muniz prefers that as well. So, yeah, it's difficult, man. I'm not sure.
Watch it be a striking battle, eh? Just watch.
Yeah.
This is kind of a tough one. This is a tricky fight. This is very tricky. I just question the weight cut. Like, I think this is a fight you can win, but like, if he fights a striker with the weight cut, man, it could. Like, his chin is already bad, Paul Craig, but the ground game is devastating. Remember, this guy beat Jamal Hill, right? And people forget about that kind of.
He also beat Ankalaev.
Ankalaev, like, yeah. I mean, the Ankalaev one was,
really weird.
yeah, but the Hill fight, my God, that submission he had and the elbows he was raining, and then I think he broke his arm, right, or dislocated his shoulder, right? Yeah, that was crazy. Your boy Brian Barbie against Makhmudov. I don't really like Brian moving up to 185. What do you think about this?
Yeah, he said it's like he got the to 170 is a much harder cut for him. Now he's getting older, so that's why he wants to go to 185, and he thinks he can do well there. So we'll see, man. I don't know. I think this is a tough matchup, but man, Muradov hasn't really been convincing as of lately. You know what I mean? So I know he was in the beginning when he came to UFC, but we'll see.
Absolutely. A couple other ones here. Vito Petrino, Martin Petrino. This is on 290. Kind of a strange matchup to add to the card, but I guess it's a showcase fight for this Petrino. I guess, right? I would assume. Is that what you're thinking too?
I think that's how they are looking at it, but I don't know if it would be that easy, but we'll see.
I'm with you because I think Petrino is like not bad. He's been doing good. Are the odds up for Nico Price and Lawler? Let me check.
No idea.
Take a look. I don't think so, Marcus. No. That fight's weird too because Nico is obviously very hittable, but with Lawler announcing he's going to retire, it's always like kind of hard to pick someone that's going to announce that's admitting like, hey, my foot's out the door, right? That's tough. I still think Lawler's got something left in the tank, but it almost feels like they're kind of pushing him into retirement here. But he has a fun fight. I think this is it. Oh yeah, you broke this fight too, right? A few weeks ago, honestly.
Yeah, I actually also broke the Salt Lake City. How do you say that location?
Right. That's a good fight. CJ Vergara and Vinicius Salvador, fun fight. Landon Vinod versus Mike Breeden. Landon wins. I mean, Mike Breeden's he's not UFC caliber, right? I think you'd agree with me.
Yeah. By the way, I see here Fury grappling. Joe Pfeiffer against Gerald Meerschaert.
And grappling? Oh, okay.
And grappling, yeah.
Maybe Gerald will actually win this time, like we picked him last time. Ottman should win this fight. This Prado guy's not very good. I mean, he's very young. He's super young, but bro, he looked so bad in that last fight against Malarkey.
Oh, that was a horrible fight, man.
It was bad. I can't.
But also, Malarkey only laid on him on top for a long time.
Yeah, this will be a striking bout. I don't know. Ottman's got to get back on track here. This is a great fight. Christian Leroy Duncan and Armin Petrosian. Short notice, right?
Quick. Yeah, June 17th.
It was Petrovsky, right? That was the fight.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Petrovsky, but I think Andre Petrovsky got injured, right?
Duncan, yeah, he did. Duncan, his opponent got injured, Dusko. He took zero damage, and I think it's fine that he's returning quick because he took no damage, So this is a good fight, man. I don't know about this one. This is a tough one to call. I gotta think about it more. I love this fight too. Demir's will go with Grant Dawson. Got 12 and 15. You like Demir, I guess, right?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think Demir is still very good. He lost to Arman, but who doesn't right now?
Yeah, but Grant's the American top team. He's looking great at that gym, so we'll see. Kyung Kang and Christian Quinones. This is the guy that has his brother in UFC, right? Quinones. Jose Quinones, is that his name? The guy who fought Sean O'Malley. Christian Quinones. Remember his brother fought O'Malley?
Yeah, that was his brother. He fought Taha, I think.
That's right. I picked him in that fight. By the way, look at his tattoo. It's like some evil like moose or something. Like, look at this thing. Or a horse or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's crazy.
It's a moose, I think. Yeah.
I think it is a moose. Okay, maybe he's Canadian. He's part Canadian. Mexican/Canadian, just like Loopy. Kirk and Ribovich. Wasn't this the original fight? And then Yeah. And then Loic beat him, right? Loic won that fight, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Loic won. Yeah.
And that fight should have been fighting the night, but Dana didn't see it. Remember? Dana's like, I missed the first fight. Like, that's complete bullshit that he's missing fights and then they give bonuses out without seeing all the fights. It's stupid. Did we talk about this one yet?
No.
You know what the UFC wants here, right? It's pretty clear.
Obviously.
I think they want a new contender, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so.
You think they want Holm to win?
No, they want Myra to win, obviously.
Yeah, they want her. I think she would have smoked Miesha Tate. I think she would have smoked her.
I think so too.
This is 5 rounds, right? Okay, so that's interesting. Holly's still good, man. She did look good in her last fight, so even though she's 41, she's still looking good. But I like Bueno Silva, man. She's fucking nasty, dude, with the arm bars and the knee bars and just the strikings look better. That last fight against, what was that girl's name? Lena Landsberg. My God, she looked good in that fight. Like, the striking was brutal. So, yeah, I think the UFC wants a new contender. She's 10 years younger. That's a big age gap. Daniel Wood and Andre Field. Oh, this is London. This is a great fight. I like this fight. You like this one?
Yeah, it's good. I definitely think that's the main card fight, you know. So looking forward, man. I think Wood has done really good as of lately, you know. And Feely got that win over Aljo last time, which was a pretty good win, and he needed that one after getting knocked out by.
Wait, who did he beat again? Who was it?
Bill Aljo.
Oh, Bill Aljo. Yeah, it's a very close fight. I remember that one. Yeah. And then Wood beat Jourdain. So that was a big win for him. Tom Aspinall to Burr. I just don't care about this fight, man. I mean, this is why the tickets aren't selling, guys. No one fucking cares about watching Marcin Tybura fight. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but the guy is not very exciting. He's not. They're trying to build Tom back up, obviously, after getting injured last year against Curtis. Tom wins. Tom finishes him in first or second round. What do you think?
Yeah, of course Tom wins this one, man. I don't understand this matchmaking at all. I think the card is already not appealing, and the main event is even less appealing. You know what I mean?
He's literally going to wish for his opponent to get injured again because that's pretty much the only way he'll win this fight, I think. Like, where's Tybura better than Aspinall? On the feet, he's not. On the ground, he's not. So, like, where does he win, Marcel?
Yeah, good question. Nowhere.
Again, if the guy gets injured, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this many times. Vulcan, you're Leon Murphy, Josh Kuba. Oh, fun fight, eh? I like this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's also in London, right?
Okay, this is a fun fight. You guys going to London card? This is a fun one. I mean, I would assume Murphy would be favored, but like honestly, I think Koulibal's looked pretty good in the UFC, man. He has. And you broke this fight too, eh? You broke this one? Nice.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a good one, you know. I mean, I also feel like there's probably going to be main card as one of the better fights announced so far, you know. And I think Koulibaly was looking good as well, by the way, man. I think Murphy got a little bit lucky in his last fight against Gabriel Santos in London, but he's a very solid guy as well. I'm looking forward to this one.
Josh Kuba is pretty underrated, I think, man. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
he's a guy that I don't think either of us really thought much.
No, I didn't give him enough credit. True.
The fight with Melsick, the last fight was wow. That was impressive.
It was sick.
That was impressive, to say the least. And he did have that draw with Jourdain as well in his debut, I believe it was. Armin and Joaquin Silva. I mean, Armin should be minus 1,000 in this fight. What do you think?
Something like that. Yeah, a huge favorite. Definitely. It's a co-main event. So,
listen, I know Joaquin had a nice knockout over my fellow Canadian Ronson, but like dude, this fight is this. I get it. No one wants to fight this guy, but like, if guys turn down fights, just fucking release them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. If you're saying the rankings, you're saying no to this guy, then you should either be taken on the rankings. You should be cut. Armin should not have to be forced to fight a completely unranked guy. This fight does, and it's not like there's much upside Silva. He's basically like my age, or he's your age, Marcel. Like, I mean, he's not like super young, you know. So I don't like this matchmaking personally. Armin should absolutely destroy this guy, though. Caitlin Vera, Panda Kansas. By the way, UFC stats, do you see it? It's still fucking messed up, eh?
Yeah.
It says UFC is Caitlin Souza against it says Vera against, what's her name? Korean Silva.
That's Silva, yeah, it should be Souza.
Can they not fix that? I mean, it's been like that for like a month. Come on. I actually like this fight, though. I mean, I like Pandy, man. She's pretty tough. She'll stand and bang, and should be a good fight. Couple other fights. We'll get out here in a second, Marcel. We got Carl Deaton against Munoz. I mean, these guys are at the bottom of the division, wouldn't you say? Loser probably gets cut. I hate to say it, but Alex Munoz hasn't fought in forever. Like,
people said, like, it's Michael Chandler fighting.
He kind of looks like without hair or something. With hair, I should say. Okay, so we'll go back to the old ones. All right, that's enough for the fight announcements. All right, I think we're pretty good here. We'll get any last second questions, guys. We'll get out of here. But yeah, I mean, there's some good fights coming up, Marcel. And then should mention PFL's back starting 2 weeks, I think, for now, or maybe 2 weeks, I believe. PFL will be back. Bellator's coming back up soon. Bellator barely does cards anymore. It feels like they do less cards than anyone anymore. So, but the PFL is coming up the second round of the tournament, and then obviously we have 4 UFC cards in June? Is it 4? I believe it is. So.
Let me think. June 3rd, June 10th, June 17th, and June 24th. Yeah.
4 cards.
It's
All right.
like there's like no after this week. There's like cards until August 26th is known, and there's no break in between anymore.
Yep. So enjoy your weekend off this next weekend, guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, last couple comments. Podcast next week. Yeah, we'll do the podcast next Monday. You should, Jan. What should Jan do now? I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. I don't know because he doesn't really have like that. That would be the next. That would make sense. Maybe Tatiana if she wins, they could do that. Maybe, but I don't think they would. I think they would kind of save her right for China to do the two women from China. I guess that makes sense. Here's a good question. Cyborg and Zingano. I mean, I saw Cyborg talk to James. She interviewed her. She just resigned with Bellator. She's like, Kat's turning 41 this year. Like, honestly, Marcel, if this fight doesn't happen, it's from Zingano's side. I mean, Cyborg on Twitter every day saying, I want to fight her. Like, I don't believe this whole thing that Zingano's like, oh, like, Cyborg's the one ducky Mino and stuff. Like, dude, just do the fight. Why did they sign her if they weren't ever going to do this fight? You know what I mean? Why did they even bother signing her?
I'm with you.
All right, let's get out of here, Marcel. I think that's good for today. All right, guys. Once again, appreciate everyone tuning in. Last question. Yeah. You guys gonna watch Tough? I'll watch it. Yeah, I want to watch Tough. I'm gonna watch it. You gonna watch it?
Probably, but I feel like I'm the only guy who hasn't watched the McGregor documentary on Netflix.
I didn't see it either, but I'll check it out soon because I heard it's pretty good. Anyways, Marcel, let's get out of here. You guys can follow me on Twitter at @MMAOB. Follow him on Twitter at Big Marcel 24 on Instagram as well. Back next Monday, guys, to preview UFC Vegas 74 and then do some fight announcements and stuff. Once again, if you missed the first podcast, we had Alex Behunin as a guest. He did a great job, so check that out. Thanks again, guys, for the comments and everything in the chat section. Appreciate it, and we'll be back next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.